Today we've got the 64 Jetstar. We've got the hood removed. If you guys remember in the last video we pulled the hinges off because they're kind of rusty and crusty. But the goal for today is to figure out what this engine is, if it's original to the car, if it's stuck, if it's hopeless, or if we have a chance to get this thing running. So stick around and we'll see what we can find out. I guess first things first, we are going to try to figure out if we can find the casting numbers or any identifying numbers on this engine anywhere. And if what I've read is correct, on the left side cylinder head, I believe that's this side, because left on a car is when you're in the driver's seat. It would be whichever your left is. But over here, if you want to take a closer look, I believe underneath this gunk and nastiness right here is a set of numbers that should tell us what kind of engine we have and what year it is and things like that. Okay, so we'll start off with this and try to see if we can start removing some of this junk. Oh, I'm seeing something. I'm seeing something. A letter over here that I'm trying to expose. All right, so we've got the letter H, the number 537149, and then it looks like we have an L, which, if my preliminary research is accurate, that means that this is a low compression engine and therefore is not the high performance 394, which would be consistent with the fact that we've also got a 2-barrel carburetor. All right, now I say we pull the air cleaner off, which is not going to be an easy task. Yeah, this thing's really rusty. Try to loosen it up here. Again, we know we've got a 2-barrel carburetor under here, but we don't know much more than that. And the stud is just going to unscrew from the carb, which is fine, maybe, no? Wing nut? Wow, it's actually unthreading. And what did I touch there? Okay, definitely a 2-barrel. Definitely a 2-barrel. What can you see under there? Dirt daubers and rust. Perfect. Everything is completely seized. It's not looking good for us today, folks. We've got a lot of rust in the carburetor. Just looks like moisture over time getting in, rusted the blades. The throttle linkage is, pretty stuck. Yeah, the choke. Oh, no, that will move. Hold on a second. No, throttle blades are stuck. This hose just, yep, it's fine. Okay. All right, well, this is not what we wanted to see today. Because these engines, no matter if it's the low compression or the high compression, they're hard to find parts for. Where's the dipstick on this thing? Ah, found it. Wow. Chunky. So it'll run. Let's see. What else? I don't know. I think we should try to look up those numbers off the head and just at least identify what we have. The power steering pump is just not. So yeah, let's look up the numbers and see what we have, and then we'll check back in and see what we think we should do with this thing. All right, so based on the research, H is saying a 1963 engine, which kind of doesn't make sense because this is a 64, but I guess it's possible that they could have put a 63 engine in a 64 year model car, maybe, or maybe someone swapped it. I don't know. But the 537149L, everything I see says L after means low compression, which this should have been a factory high compression engine. So I'm kind of confused. I'm going to try to look at the VIN number though and see if maybe we can tie any of these numbers to the VIN number, because maybe the block is original. I just don't really know. All right. The interior is all but mint condition. These seats, I mean, check out these seats. Still soft, no cracks. This thing's in not horrible shape on the inside. Still has the console. It's supposed to have a tach, a RPM gauge in the console. It has a vacuum gauge, which I think is an older model thing. It has the older engine. But look, I mean, the rust situation really is not bad. These are still there. Rockers are still there. The floor is mostly there. Passenger side. Not too bad. Got some knobbage. I bet we need the key. Look, it says Jetstar 1, so this has to be a 64 because 64 was the first year of the Jetstar 1, and everything else lines up consistently with that. Look at this. We've got our exhaust manifold goes down, and right there is a flange on the front side, and then the pipe has like spring-loaded flange on the back, and then it goes back. I've never seen anything like that before. I'm trying to find numbers. See, I just don't know where to look for this stuff on these engines. Like, I would have never guessed that the numbers. Oh no, you know what I just noticed? That the valve cover has been off of this engine and is not all the way. Oh, look. The valve cover is not all the way on. I really don't want to drop crap into the engine, but let's see what lies beneath. Is this why they took the power steering loose? So rusty. It almost looks like this engine was like rebuilt and then left sitting, or no. I don't know. But we have major rust inside the engine. Well, that is definitely not what we wanted to see. You know, I saw a guy on Marketplace, actually in one of the Facebook groups, selling a 64 Olds 394 with the automatic transmission, $1,500, ran when pulled, but he's in Oregon, so not gonna work. Well, you know, folks, I think, as bad as I hate to say it, this engine is probably not even worth fooling with. We don't have a 4-barrel. We don't have the right numbers on the block. And our valve cover or valve train just told us a story that we didn't want to hear, which is that this engine has seen its best days. But the car itself is still very, very cool. And in my opinion, very worth saving. All right, so it's a really sad day actually for the 64 Jetstar. You know, we went to try to pull some numbers off the engine, confirm that it's not the original engine to the car. And in that process, we found that the valve cover had been removed in the past and that there's a lot of rust beneath the valve cover, almost as if the parts weren't covered in oil. But I mean, if this thing really has been sitting since, you know, 1976 or 77, it's no surprise that the inside of the engine is not in great shape. But it really sucks for us because I was hoping to keep this thing, you know, true to Oldsmobile and, you know, try to get the engine that was in it to run so that we could drive this thing on the road and maybe, you know, clean it up a little bit. But it just didn't work out for this one, and that's okay. Might keep my eye on Marketplace for the next month or so and see if we can't find an engine that would suit this car, preferably Oldsmobile in this case, but you know, maybe we can find something else. But anyway, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Give us a like and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Trying to get the channel built up here. So have a good day. We'll see you in the next one.